This is Slim Reaper Beats.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Perfect.
I don't understand how you can watch baseball so much. I get bored so easily.
Bro, baseball is a thinking man's game, and it's a really
I play thinking man games all the time. I just get bored of watching them.
Yeah, I remember there was one year where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch every Yankee game, and I quit after 2.
That's wild. That's wild.
After 2. I could not do it. I was like, this is torture.
I got to.
It's boring.
I watched 100 games before they got the pitching clock and everything to speed it up. And even then, I was like, if I didn't understand or like this sport as much as I did, there's no way I watched this.
Don't get me wrong, it can get exciting, but the vast majority of baseball games are just boring.
If you love pitching, it's a fantastic sport.
Well, that's I gotta disagree with producer Jay. I don't think the vast majority of baseball games are boring. I think the vast majority of them are interesting, but they're not over. Very few of them are exciting. I would say out of
What we
162
call
games,
not exciting, I call boring.
out of 162 games, right? I would say 25% of them are boring. 50% is interesting. And then the last 25% is exciting.
I think the reason why it's so hard to get into, at least early on, is that majority of the fan base knows that a lot of the early games don't count towards much. It's more of just laying the groundwork and building and stuff like that. And a lot of times that's boring to see.
I would say here's the thing, and this is what I mean when I say this, that the game itself can be fun. It just really depends because they sped it up to make it faster. The most boring part was hey, it was too long. I don't know why we're spending so much time talking about this, but like I said, if you don't understand the rules or you don't like certain stuff, this game will be terribly boring to you. I find when I watch baseball, I like watching the baseball pitches to see the different spins and the different breaks. And then I also find hitting exciting. But if I don't find any of that stuff exciting or cool to look at, there's no way the sport's going to be fun to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you get excited by basketball where players are always running up and someone's always scoring or doing something exciting, baseball wouldn't be for you. And the same thing for soccer.
Well, soccer is a completely different thing.
In what way?
Well, I just mean there's always something going on. Same thing with basketball.
I wouldn't even say that for soccer.
Really?
A lot of the soccer is running up and down with a ball, and hopefully you can score. And sometimes you don't get the opportunity. You don't get the opportunity to score. Baseball is the same thing. You get 3 chances to at least hit it, and something can happen.
I think there's a lot of downtime, and that's also my issue with football. There's a lot of downtime.
There's a lot of downtime in between plays. Yeah.
Between plays, and
the only thing that's exciting about American football is that you will see someone get hit. That's it. So when the downtime, that's your excitement build up to ooh, how bad is the person going to get hit this time? Because we're all terrible people. Sometimes I like to watch people get hurt.
I'm about to say, so we're all just fans of violence, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
We
as a
all
society.
As a society. That's why gladiator fights were popular. That's the first thing we hear when we talk about sports was gladiator stuff. How they have people have quote unquote death matches because some of them were faked.
True.
Well, you know what wasn't boring?
Hashtag segues. I like it. I like it.
I'm glad you caught that out of it.
I got 100 guns, 100 clips. Sing it with me, fellas.
I can't sing.
New York.
I haven't. My singing voice is not fully here yet.
New York.
Let's see. You know how he's able to sing? He wasn't excited as much as I was.
Send me your money that spits next time if you talk.
That's the point of the show, though. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah,
He's
you're like
gone.
fading out.
It's like he's gone.
I was fading out. Oh my
Yeah.
bad.
You're, see what I mean? He got too much. He wasn't excited as I was. I was dying last night.
Tay was in the trenches.
Bro,
I would
I
not.
was
I would not confirm where I was at any point of the time last night.
I cannot confirm where I am either, but I just know that I really wish I was home last night.
Yeah.
Oh man, because
You know what's funny? Did you see Chiseled Adonis his recent post?
yes,
When he said that he couldn't even celebrate because he was at one of the World Cup games
that they lost, that
that they
he lost.
lost, yeah. And
Who's
then when he
playing?
got back,
I was legit.
I don't know.
That's a. It don't.
He was
Something to worry
in
about later.
Haiti versus somebody up in Boston, up in Foxborough.
Yeah. And then when he
And
got
they
back,
lost.
it was like 5 a.m. and everybody was done.
Uh-huh.
So that's what it reminded me of you because you were also outside.
Who said that?
I was sitting here watching the game, like looking for somebody to call. My man's was at work. Cordell was at work. My man's Frank from Transit, he wouldn't answer. I don't know why he wouldn't answer. He was probably like in disbelief, like I was. And I figured Tay wouldn't answer because he was out here gallivanting in the streets. So
I would.
you know
I
he-
would have answered. I actually would have answered. I had my phone on me.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
figured-
In between the vandalism, he would have picked up the phone.
Right. I think he was
hey, relax, relax. You putting a lot of business out there that I may not been there. Like, relax there. Let's slow it down.
It said,
Let's bring it back.
we know good and goddamn well you was on 7th and 34th throwing Molotov cocktails at NYPD vehicles. We
I
know
was
damn well.
nowhere near that area. I don't know what you're talking about. At least not to my knowledge, I was nowhere near the area.
Okay. Okay, brother. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was behaving
You were behaving.
as best as I could.
What is behaving?
What is behaving?
Whatever I defined it as at this moment in time. You
Bro.
asked a lot. Again, you asked a lot of questions. I told you, like, I'm not confirming or denying anything. That could get me in trouble.
Anyway, as we can see, for the first time in 53 years, the New York Knicks are your NBA champions. Shout outs to New York Knicks for pulling it off, for pulling off what is probably, which to me, in my opinion, has been one of the greatest playoff runs in New York sports history. Like,
It
definitely
would
top.
have been an all-timer had it not been for Game 3.
I still consider it an all timer. This is
I
definitely.
mean, it still is. It still is.
This is
But
the best
imagine
playoff
if they
series.
went
And swept them?
undefeated and swept both the Eastern Conference championships and the NBA Finals.
That would have been cool to see. I mean, they were really riding that 13-game winning streak, like for a minute because, well, they hadn't lost for like 2 months.
Yeah, it was 2 months.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about it. I still consider it a great time. Honestly, this is the best final series I've seen in a decade. The only series that I consider close to it is the 2016, the 3-1 comeback.
I didn't like that series. Too much politics in that series.
Too much politics.
Yeah, I really think that, like, the conspiracy theorist in me really believes that Adam Silver and the NBA extended that series unnecessarily. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, it was because of Danhausen.
Yo, who is this guy? Is he
I was gonna say, do you know who that is?
is he a WWE wrestler?
Yeah, he's WWE wrestler. His gimmick is that he curses people, and early on in the I guess the Eastern Conference Championship series, he cursed the Knicks, and then I think Stephen A. begged him to uncurse them.
No, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
So-
because there was something with Stephen A.
Yeah, so Dan Houser is is now a WWE person. He used to
Yeah.
be AEW.
Okay.
But he debuted on WWE, and then he started a thing with The Miz and another person, I think Kid Wilson.
Yeah.
That anytime he would do something, he would curse them, and unfortunate things would happen. Oh, and Dom Mysterio, because he cursed Dom Mysterio, and that's when he lost the Intercontinental title. So I think he did something. I think he went on First Take for something,
Yeah.
and Stephen A had said something to him, and he's like, "You're cursed, Stephen A." And then after he did that curse, the Knicks actually lost the next 2 games by 1.
Oh, against the
So,
Hawks or something?
Yeah.
so after that, then people, it wasn't Stephen A. Smith, it was the actual Knicks people, like Knicks fans. Someone
Oh, they
actually
told
like
him to
yeah,
uncurse them.
so yeah, someone sent him a Venmo request of like $150, like, hey, can you
Oh
uncurse
shit,
the
I
Knicks?
didn't know about that.
Yeah, they were sending him money, and he was like, you know what, for that, he's like, I uncursed the Knicks.
And
And
then they went on
then
their
he
winning
went
streak.
straight on off the straight on streak.
That's crazy. That's insane because like that game in Atlanta where they were down 2-1 in the series, right? And there was a timeout called or something, and Jalen Brunson and his dad were like having some sort of argument, right?
hmm
You could see it on the sideline. His dad said something to him, and I think he put his finger in his face or something like that. And then from that point forward, the Knicks was just whooping ass, like left and right. And they won 13 games in a row. And it was just like, yo, where did this come from?
Fantastic time.
Because I'm like, yo, there's no, like, think about it. They, from game 4 in Atlanta, right? All the
Listen,
way
yep.
till like game 1 of the finals, they was beating niggas ass. Like, they won 3 straight against Atlanta by convincing fashion. Remember, they won like, I mean, they beat Atlanta like 7, like by like 30 or 40 in game 6.
hmm
Philly didn't stand a chance. I'm sorry. Philly did not stand a chance at all. They just stomped them out and say, yo, give me a Philly cheesesteak and whatever. Like, and then Cleveland saved game 1 when they came back from the 20-something point deficit in game 1. Every other game was just like, yo, like, are you guys even showing up to play? Like, what's happening here? You know?
I was
So
enjoying it.
so was I, but it was just like, yo, I really thought once they got to the finals that I really like when we talked about it on the last show today. I really believed once they beat Cleveland and made it to the finals, I said, I don't care who comes
That
out of the
was it.
West. That was it. We were going to beat
You were
them.
debating on if you should expect them to win the whole thing or if you should just be happy that they made
Yeah,
it
and
there.
I remember I told you could be both. Like, you could be happy fully. Like, be happy we made it this far, because like we don't get this far normally. So this is a great time to be happy. But like,
Mhm.
it's also okay to be fully selfish. Like, nah, like, we made it this far. Why can't we win it all? And I was like, we can be selfish. There's nothing wrong with it.
I will say it is one of I don't want to say the greatest, but it is a very, very good comeback story.
The comeback itself was just,
And it played out in almost every game.
you would think they learned at a certain point, but it was like, honestly, at a certain point, because like we saw this all last year with all of Boston,
Yeah.
the Boston series. It was like, okay, but like at a certain point when it came to this finals, I was with my friends watching this game. And my friend goes like, they were only down by like 7. He goes like, I don't like this. And he's like, and then they hit a 3. He's like, all right, I'm better now. Now that they're down by 10, I know we're gonna be okay. I just laughed at him.
It is
And then,
crazy how like the closer they get, the more comfortable you feel. Even though they're still down, it's like you know they're gonna pick back up because that was the trend that they've been setting.
yep. I watched that. I was like, I feel comfortable again. We're down by double digits. It's around that
Yeah.
time.
Now it's just the 10 there.
Right. It was like, okay. Like I had a feeling when they came back against Cleveland, right? Because
Mhm.
I was thinking to myself, like, if you just get it to like 15 in the fourth, you got a pretty good shot. You know what I'm saying? Which they did. And then they came back and beat Cleveland in that the game one comeback at the Garden. And then the same thing happened in San Antonio. The first two games they were down double digits, but the difference was they were down early. You know what I'm saying? They were down double digits in the first quarter in literally every game. In the game four comeback, I said the same thing. I was like, if you can get it to 15 by the end of the third, you definitely have a shot. Because, like you said, the trend was they would get up big, and then the Knicks would just start to mount a comeback. And we can use this as a segue to go into how San Antonio played, because, in my opinion, as much as the Knicks won this championship because they wanted it more, San Antonio really just shit the bed in every game except game three. You know what I
I
mean?
I would argue they shit game 3, honestly. Remember, we were all the issue with game 3 to everybody was that it was very apparent to everyone that the officiating was wilding out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. Yes, yes. And they only lost
So,
by 4.
mhm. So even then, I would argue that they shit every game that they had. Like, they just so happened they won that one more. But even then, if you look at it, you're like, damn, they shouldn't have lost. They also should have lost that game.
They should have
As you
lost
look
that.
at it,
It's really interesting that so like we say like the Knicks, they were like the comeback story, like they were the underdogs, and it always seemed like in the second half things started to pick up. It was literally the reverse for the Spurs. Like they would
And
dominate the first half and even some into the third quarter. And then for
and then
whatever reason, they
shit the
would
bed.
just choke.
uh-huh.
And it's just mind-boggling. Like especially in the last game that they were getting, well no, it was what was it? Game 4? Yeah, I think it was game 4. That they actually were playing very good, and they were getting like nothing but threes and nothing but uh like they were
Yep.
laying up everything, and it felt like they weren't making any mistakes, at least none that I could see. But then towards the end, it's just like that just all changed, and I don't know what happened.
I'll tell you what happened, and it goes down to what you and I were listening to before we started. They didn't have a point guard.
Yeah.
The Spurs didn't have a point guard. De'Aaron Fox was supposed to be the guy that solidified and held down the position in those late game situations,
And
and
he was making the mistakes.
he was the one making the mistakes. Now he wasn't the only one who made mistakes. Listen, remember the Spurs almost won game 2 because
Yeah.
if
Well,
Wemby does throw that ball, doesn't try to pass the ball and hit Stephon Castle in the back, you know,
they there's a chance there's a chance they win that game or they go
there's,
to overtime. There's a good
there's
chance for anything to happen.
I think they were up I think they were up 2.
Mm. Mm-mm. It was tied. Jalen had made a turnaround jumper to tie the game. They went back there. They missed, and then Jalen went up for another like fadeaway. It went short. Wemby got the rebound, so it was tied, and then he threw it off his back.
Right, and then Jalen hit a free throw. Right, correct.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. If they had a solidified point guard, right? Wemby's not bringing up the ball. The point guard, and this is where basketball IQ comes into play. The point guard comes to the backcourt, takes the ball from him, and runs it up the floor.
Also, I'm actually going to go back on that because if you go back and look at that play, Fox was actually next to him. He did not move.
Oh,
Wemby
he
caught the
was?
Wemby caught the rebound and then
Uh-huh.
turned and saw Castle. They made eye contact with each other, but if you look back, you go look at that play, Fox is on the other side of the other side of the rim. He's just there. He's like right there standing. He didn't run up with everybody. He stood back to wait.
Oh,
Oh, I'm guessing maybe he thought Wemby would just pass it right back to him.
He probably in his run he was probably looking back too. He's like, all right, cool. But no, like it's you actually have to go back and look at that because he literally was like, okay, I'm right here. It's not. But again, he didn't actually call for the attention. He just stood there and waited. As a
No,
point
see,
guard, as a point guard, you should be like, "Hey, yo," clapping, waving your hands.
thank you,
But,
thank you.
but
He passed the ball up. Come on, give me
yeah,
that. You know what I mean?
like he
And
should.
then
Yes, he should have did that. But like, as I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, he wasn't doing anything." Like he stepped back to be like, "I'm right here to give." Also, that's a 7 foot person. You feel like you should be. He should be able to see over everyone and see you. He's like, "All right,
well,
I'm gonna
he's
stand over."
looking for you is the point that I'm trying to make
Yeah, bad
because
point.
you're supposed to, as the point guard, you're supposed to control the tempo. You're supposed to control the. You saw what Jalen Brunson was doing. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
see the difference, and this is something that kind of bothers me about the modern NBA style of play is that there's positionless basketball. Like, bro, no, you need a point guard in these situations because they know what to do. The point guard they had Chris Paul like 2 years ago. Chris Paul doesn't make that mistake. Chris Paul doesn't make the mistake that De'Aaron Fox made in Game 4, where you up by one, they force a turnover, and you get the steal, and you race up the court trying to score when you're up a point with 14 to play, and instead of taking the ball out and making them foul you, you try to go to score and you wind up getting blocked.
This one
You
does not
know,
make that mistake. I'm not gonna hold you.
he doesn't make that mistake. Chris Paul doesn't make that mistake. Jalen Brunson doesn't make that mistake.
Oh,
Steph Curry doesn't make that mistake.
I would say
Uh,
back Josh Hart himself. Josh Hart doesn't even make that mistake. We've seen him do that countless times in games. There's a lot of there. It just depends.
so
It's
there were the Spurs were playing. I don't know,
How
and you
how
know,
long has this Spurs team been playing together?
not that long actually. With
not
Fonster.
that long. Yeah, they're a young team.
So
So
their best.
that's one of the things I've heard over the past few days, a few I guess weeks, I guess.
How
That
young they
this
are.
Spurs team is a very young team.
Hmm.
Do you
They are.
think that ego plays a factor into it? That they
Yes,
made it this far and they want to make a name for themselves.
yes, and no. Yes, because like you said, they're young. They're trying to make a name for themselves, and they're trying to, you also got to realize, like, in the NBA, like, contracts are made in moments like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
Yeah.
like put on in the finals or you put on in the playoffs, teams are gonna see that and they might even try to trade for you, or you might want to go somewhere else where you can get a super max or whatever have you. So they're definitely trying to make a name for themselves. Also, because they're young and they're so talented, they probably, along with the ego thing, they probably think that, okay, if we fuck up here, we'll get it another time. We're gonna make multiple finals trips in the years to come. And it's not necessarily the case, you
Yeah.
know. It's not necessarily the case. But I also say no because the Spurs are a world-class organization. They are. Greg Popovich, his fingerprints, his DNA is literally all over that organization. Greg Popovich, and this is another thing about the inexperience of the Spurs that kind of threw me off a little bit with this series, is like if Popovich was coaching, a lot of these things, a lot of mistakes that were made would not be made. You know what I mean? The series might have turned out a lot differently if Greg Popovich was coaching. Tay, would you agree with that?
Yes, but Greg Popovich. It's a weird thing for that one because Greg Popovich himself didn't really like. Greg Popovich himself is a great leader. He said all the players say it, all the coaching staff says this. But like at a certain point, he kind of just forgets what's going on in the game. But I would give you actually, I'm gonna fully agree with you because Greg Popovich would have taught his team, and everyone would have known like, hey, there's certain mental mistakes you can't make as a team. And to answer your question, Jeremy, yes, this technically with their best player coming off the bench. Sorry if you heard that. People are driving by like crazy.
All right.
If you look at their best player who came off that bench, Dylan Harper, he's a
Dylan
full on
Harper.
rookie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's a full rookie. So as a full thing, as a full team, this is like their first year together with Dylan Harper. But as without Dylan Harper, this is like their second year together. So they've had time to like get together, but yeah, it was very evident that Dylan, like as a full team, this is their first full team together. But still, as a thing, I'm with you on this. As a young team, there's some mistakes you really can't make as a point. That was one. And equal things, another thing, I guess. I think it
Because
was just
I'm
how
just looking at it, because especially
I
with
was.
that, in game 4
I was
with
saying this. I'm
not
saying
game
this as a
4.
thing. This is for them, as like you can hear it in their press conferences and stuff. How young they were. When anytime they were asking them questions, you could hear the youth and the arrogance in them. Because when you're young, you're full of yourself. You're like, yeah, it's easy. So like when you heard their interview with like Win Vietnam, they were like, oh
That's
yeah,
yeah.
like yeah, I know. We'll be okay. Like it's not going to happen again. Like that sort of stuff. That's something you say with youthful arrogance.
Yeah. That's one thing I did notice. It felt like, to put in wrestling terms, it felt like the Spurs, or at least like Wembanyamu, they were taking on the heel persona. Like they knew that they were like better than what people thought of them. And even then he was calling his shot, and they were saying like, "Oh, they're going to win. Everybody knows they're going to win."
Yeah.
And it's like it's a complete contrast to how the Knicks were treating it. Like even when they won game 4, that they were saying, "No, we still got work to do."
Game 4, I've never seen every game they won and any comeback. It was like it's all right. We're back to 0-0. It doesn't matter now. That win doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they were always like that the whole series.
And not to mention, and let's focus more on the Knicks now and their success versus the Spurs' failures. Number one, the Knicks have steadily climbed the ladder. You know what I'm saying? When Jalen Brunson signed back in 2022, the Knicks got bounced in the second round that year. Then they got bounced in the second round again the next year. Last year, they got bounced in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then they made the coaching change,
Mm-hmm.
which to me
Did
was one of the more underrated moves, only because I'll be honest with you guys. I did not like the Mike Brown hire, only because I know that Mike Brown hasn't won a chip as a head coach by himself. He was an assistant with the Warriors when they won their chips, right? I wanted Mike Malone from the Nuggets. They didn't get Mike Malone, which is fine. It turned out to be the better move, clearly, because Mike Brown won this chip. And you can see that they actually really like playing for Mike Brown because he actually uses the bench, right? Mike Brown coached his ass off in these finals, because especially in game 4, because remember, Cap kept getting in foul trouble. Cap kept we were down 29 at one point, so he's just trying to find something to get us going. But either way, right? The Knicks got over the hump this time, as opposed to falling flat on their face like we're so prone to as Knick fans.
Yeah.
We actually saw them get to the mountaintop this time, and they learned from their mistakes in previous years, and like producer Jay said earlier, they had that mentality of, nope, we still have work to do. We haven't played our best basketball. We're trying to figure this out. We're not gonna, settle for whatever it is right now. It's 0-0, like Tay said.
It's
So
always 0-0.
that difference in mentality, and plus they played together for a little while now. You know what I mean? They've had that continuity, that chemistry, that and Tay, you've played sports. Jeremy, you wrestled. I played lacrosse. Chemistry is important on a
it
team. You
is.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It breaks you. It
It
makes or
breaks.
breaks the season. You,
Absolutely. And you know what else? Makes or breaks you? Making the adjustments. You know what I mean? Making adjustments is necessary. Like I remember the year that I actually played lacrosse in high school. We had beat this one team. I'll never forget. It was Hunter College High School. We beat them twice in the
nice.
regular season, right? What happened in the playoffs?
You lost.
Lost.
We lost. Why? Because they made the adjustment and said, no, we're gonna play them this way this time, and we couldn't make the adjustment either. So they went on to win, and we were stuck holding our heads like, what the hell just happened? You know. But I'm really proud of the Knicks. I never thought that. Well, I knew in our lifetime we would actually see them win, but I didn't think it would be this soon. I thought it would be like maybe 10, 11 years from now.
Oh,
What do you? What do you
damn.
think?
To be fair, it was really depending on what no one. Let's be honest, and I would be fair. I know out of my friend group, I don't know if it was out of this one too. I knew I was the most positive about the Jalen Brunson signing because I thought he would just be I thought he'd be a good point guard, like an actual point guard we can use for the team.
Uh-huh.
We had no point guards, and we kept drafting terrible ones because we've missed out on some. Which led to like Chris Duhon, Frank Ntilikina, a lot of weird point guard differentiations. But no one was ever like a real point guard. So when we got Jalen, I was like, oh, finally, an actual point guard that can that knows what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
Like this can work. Now, if you'd have told me that point guard was going to lead us to a championship, I'd be like, I don't know, maybe it depends. It's like depends on what's given to him. Because I've seen how he plays. I saw him playing in Dallas. I saw how great he was then. I don't know if, but that's a doubt. That's a different team with a different coaching staff.
I will
What-
say
what was I wrong?
Jalen Brunson, out of all the Knick players, he was the most consistent. Like you can bet on him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing that really stood out to me, that even from the third quarter or the fourth quarter, he always picked up. And I don't know if it was just like, oh, like take it easy from in the first half and like
No.
play things out, but he always showed up. And that was the thing that stood out to me.
That boy was trying his ass out every game.
Yo, and he was freaking getting abused.
Every game.
That was one thing. Like
I got to the point where I got mad at him for like game 3. I'm like, my brother, pass the ball, please. It's not worth this.
It's not working yet. And to land me back off of Tay, it was like I was kind of like in between about the Jalen Brunson signing, only because I wasn't too familiar with his game. But once I started to see him play, I was like, oh, we got something here. And he took less money than he could have, so that way the team could actually
I was gonna ask about that because I did hear about that. I wanted to know if that was actually true.
Yeah,
It
I'll
is true.
explain it. I'll explain
It's
it to
true.
you.
Go ahead.
So pretty much, Jalen Brunson signed a contract. He signed a 4-year contract before to come to the Knicks from Dallas. That was still about $100 million. He outplayed that contract very easily and very fast. We all saw it because he started making all-star teams. Then he started being all NBA teams. So
Yeah.
now, when you make these accomplishments, when your next contract comes around for extensions, you can either sign now during the season and make a guaranteed amount of money, or you can hold off to make more money later. So there was a chance for Jalen to wait till the end of the season or wait till next year and get about 200 to 300 million, like a full guarantee contract. He didn't do that. He signed the contract when the time was offered and signed it for 120 million, pretty much cutting himself about 200 million off for what he could have gotten. And because he did that, the trade they were able to trade Julius Randle and DiVincenzo and afford Carl Anthony Towns contract,
Mm-hmm.
which then also led to some other players that was able to sign, leading to Jose and Jordan Clarkson.
Mm-hmm. They was able to get Mikal Bridges with that in the picks.
Yep, because they could.
And Anobi to his contract.
Mm-hmm. So him signing that contract led to a lot of dominoes falling and a lot of people getting contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And also, and some other players that also just refused not to sign with the Knicks. So there was a trade that actually could have been offered to get Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh, to get Donovan Mitchell from Utah to the Knicks, that they turned it down because they were going to send him to Cleveland. Well, because he turned that down, that led to more contracts to the bench players.
Mm-hmm.
aka Mitchell's extension,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
who made the rebound to set the free throws to send us more.
Listen, yo, shout out to Mitchell Robinson, bro, because, and I said this on my Threads account. Number one, he's the longest tenured Nick, right? He's been around. I think he got drafted in 17, or did he get drafted in 18?
It was 17. Oh, I thought you were gonna say 16. It's one of those. Yeah,
It was, he's been around for a while.
he's been here the
He's
longest.
endured some dark days, man. Some real dark days. Like the Knicks were bad during those years, right? And he never left. He could have. There were talks of them letting him go at certain points, especially within the past couple of years. But he stuck around. He's still here, and he has been a godsend, especially when Cat gets in foul trouble, because we know
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns gets in crazy foul trouble, and
That's
Nick
his
has to
MO.
come pick up the slack.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
He was like the only one who could guard Wemby because
Yeah,
of his height.
and he's been guarding Embiid whenever they matched up in the playoffs, and y'all know how dirty Embiid is. You know,
Embiid was the reason he was to be. This is his first year. He was actually fully healthy. Because remember, he hasn't been healthy since Embiid pulled him down.
right. He's the reason why he had ankle surgery. So,
Yeah,
you
he had a
know,
lot of surgeries.
Mitchell Robinson has been a godsend for the Knicks. He's steady, he's solid, he's anchored the center position off the bench, and he's just as important on his team as everybody else. This was a very collective effort by the Knicks, and I think that's kind of what also made it like more enjoyable for everybody, because everybody was important. OG
Yeah.
Anunoby, yo, OG Anunoby's tip in Game 4
Hey yo,
was it? Huh?
nothing.
You say
Pause.
AL, bro? That tipping in Game 4, pause,
No,
has
it's
is
fine. My
probably,
favorite thing so far of that whole thing, because New York lingo is hilarious.
like that
No,
that tip,
that honestly, like when that happened, I sent it in the chat. It felt the same way I felt when The Rock came out, when John Cena came out, and Undertaker came out at WrestleMania 40.
yeah,
It was just a pure hype moment, and I was just like,
yeah.
"Am I a basketball fan now?" Like,
Yes, you are. You are. Yes, yes. That was
I I
good
watched
tip,
that from home, and I was like, I watched it at home because it was a Wednesday, and like I'm only one up. I'm trying to go to bed. My roommates are asleep, and I'm like, it's 11 o'clock. I watched them make this comeback because I was pissed off the whole night watching them bull doing what they were doing. And as soon as that tip in, I fought the urge to yell so hard. I was about to
bro.
scream.
Bro, Mike Breen was saying that the garden was shaking,
I can imagine.
shaking. Like I think
Everybody in the audience was in awe at what
super,
they just witnessed.
like,
Couldn't
bro.
explain it.
It was like, you know what? It's such a big moment. To me, it's probably the biggest shot in Knicks history.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably the biggest shot in Knicks history. To me, it wiped away what happened last year with Tyrese Halliburton when he
Oh
tied the
yeah, with
game
the and then
in the
choke.
choking. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wiped away the Reggie Miller thing. It wiped away what's his name missing that layup in
Josh?
'99.
Oh, Patrick Ewing. I think it's Patrick Ewing
Patrick
or Larry
layup.
Johnson.
It both. It wiped away all that. It wiped away John Starks going 3 for 18 or whatever it was in
Damn.
'98, was it? Or
Yep.
'95? Whatever
Around
that
that
year
time.
was. It wiped away, to me, it wiped away all of that. That's just how I feel, because if we lose that game, the series is 2-2 going back to San Antonio versus 3-1. It's a different series.
It is.
Yeah, it's a completely different game.
It's a completely different series, and yo, we owe in the OG, and then no, listen, OG and Jalen Brunson, their money is no good in New York no more. They don't have to pay for nothing. You know what I mean? Now, how do y'all feel about? First of all, well, let me say this, right? This like with this championship that the Knicks have won has probably like unified the city, and the city is electric right now. Like you can't if the rest of the country couldn't stand New Yorkers right now, y'all really about to hate us.
Oh, it's
Like
over for y'all. It's over. I'm an asshole. Don't call me. I'm going to be a terrible person.
like y'all gonna be real sick of us this summer. Like real sick of us.
What?
You know what I
Actually,
mean?
I have a question.
What's up?
So, how do you feel? So, like, for example, like me, I don't watch basketball. I've always kept tabs on it, but I've never really like watched it. This was like the first basketball game I've watched in like God knows how long. And I felt like I was really getting into it. And I even said I was like, am I a basketball fan now? Like I enjoyed it. Granted, I know not every game is gonna be like this, but how do you feel about people getting into basketball because of this series? Or
That's
at
fine.
least like getting into or getting behind the Knicks now when they probably weren't before.
That's fine. They'll probably leave it again in another few weeks when the season starts again.
No, for me, here's my thing, right? Don't pretend that you've been around the block or that you've been rocking with the team since the dark days. That's what
Yeah.
pisses loyal fans off the most. It's like it's also kind of like anime guard keepers. It's like y'all was
Oh
making
yeah.
fun of us back then. Now all of a sudden anime and comic books are cool. Now
Oh
y'all
yeah.
want to act like it's you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
y'all used to make fun of us for doing the Naruto run type shit. You know what I mean? Like now
Yeah.
y'all but for me, if this turns you into a legitimate fan of the team because of the way that you saw how joyous it made people, how happy people are, like New Yorkers are in like we're going insane right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're going like the city is on y'all seen the videos of people going crazy in the streets at the watch parties. They were singing Empire State of Mind. People in Jersey were taking videos of all the noise that was coming from across the river. Like like this actually, and Tay, we talked about this last week. It was like you could be a fan of different teams in New York, right? But mostly, if you're a basketball fan, you're probably a fan of the Knicks in New York. Like a majority of New York basketball fans are Knicks fans. If it unifies the city and makes people that much more excited for New York basketball, then the team can actually be better because they know that the city's behind them, right? You see that the city is well endowed. Like they've been they've been supporting the team. The whole city was lit up with blue and orange. You know what I mean?
I saw so many buildings that
Oh
have.
yeah.
All bro, like
The freaking skyline was blue and
the
orange. Like,
skyline
Yup.
was orange and blue skies became a real thing. So
yeah.
it's like if that turns you into a legitimate fan of the team and you start to go to games and you start to learn the history of the organization, the players that played there, the history of Madison Square Garden and things of that nature. If it turns you into a legitimate fan, then so be it. Welcome aboard. But you can't act like, oh, I've been here for forever, and now that the Knicks are good, now I want to support the team. No,
Yeah.
no, you know.
No,
So
I have no qualms about calling myself like a new fan or a bandwagon fan or whatever a fake fan, whatever you want to call me. I fully accept it. Is because there's a coworker of mine who makes fun of me and saying that, oh, you weren't there when it was really bad and stuff like it's like okay, but I'm here now, so
I'm hearing right.
I got it.
It,
Like
it,
I
it,
wasn't watching. You're different because you wasn't watching the sport. To be fair,
yeah,
right. You weren't
most
watching
people
sport at all, right?
yeah, I wasn't
get
watching
upset
at all.
with the
Yeah,
people who will be like, "Oh, like during the time I was cheering for the Warriors during their dynasty." Then I kept like those are the
yeah,
people get
that
mad
would
at.
be
Right.
yeah, I would be more pissed off at that if I'm just switching teams just for when it's convenient.
Right. That's what bothers me mostly because bro, when I became a Nick fan. Let me just tell my story, and y'all could tell y'all stories too. I became a Nick fan during the Isaiah Thomas days because my stepfather, God rest his soul, was a huge Nick fan. I really wish he was alive to see this because he would be so happy. But he was a Nick fan when he came around into our lives, and we would wait for my mother to get off of work so we can go pick her up. Me and him would be in the living room watching Nick games. And it was kind of a bonding experience for me and him. That's how he was a Yankee fan, he was a Giant fan. So we bonded on that. I used to be a Net fan because I like Jason Kidd and Vince Carter. But bonding with him turned me into a Nick fan. So when the Knicks started to, they were bad, of course, but he watched faithfully and I was watching it with him. You know, I was watching the games. I was watching them getting blown out. I watched Carmelo Anthony come in and punch this dude in the face. Um, I watched. We were supposed to go to the game where Kobe dropped 61. We were supposed to get tickets to that game, but his connect has sold the tickets before he could get back to him. So and then when the Knicks finally started to get good, he was so excited. When they had Carmelo and Amari Stoudemire, oh man, he was so excited. But then he passed away when I was in college, and he never got to see any of this. So it's like, that kind of I kind of carry that stuff with me into this, and it's like, yeah, we finally got to see them win a chip at least before I got old. Like I said, I didn't know if I was going to see it this soon, but maybe somewhere down the line because the NBA is. We said it last week. The NBA, there's a lot of parity in the NBA, so a lot of teams win. We haven't had a repeat champion since what,
Warriors.
Golden State?
The Warriors.
Exactly.
Some
So
terrible, terrible, terrible Warriors.
if it makes you a fan of the sport or a fan of the team because you saw the way that it made people that much happier, then so welcome aboard, Jeremy. Like if
That's
it turns you into a legit Knick fan, come on. Like I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
that's how I feel about like whenever somebody gets into any of my fandoms. Like I'm always welcome. I don't like the whole gatekeeping culture. Like
I hate it, bro. I hate
It's
it
yeah,
too.
weird. It's
It's
weird to me.
weird.
I get behind it. It's weird.
it's
But
it's
I
just
understand you have some trauma that you need to work through, how you feel about certain people, but like, yo, bro, you getting mad at someone from liking something doesn't make sense.
yeah. I never understood it.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it. And because guess what? When the Celtics were bad and they weren't winning, but when they finally won, nobody called bandwagon Celtics fans bandwagons, people that started to become fans of the team, right? When the Warriors were bad, nobody said anything. And then Steph Curry comes out of nowhere, and now you don't have all these bandwagon fans. Nobody said anything. You know what I mean? The only person they called a bandwagon was Kevin Durant.
He
you
earned that
know,
title.
he
He
earned,
earned that.
he earned that title
He
exactly.
earned that. He earned that title. I'm gonna don't be no disrespect on that man's name. He earned that title.
He
Wait,
earned
the one
that
boy.
title. So I'm really excited that the Knicks and shout out, who else we got to give a shout out to because they set the tone for this. We got to give
Atlanta.
the Liberty a shout out.
Oh, the Liberty on the
Yes, we got
women.
to give the Liberty a shout out because they won a chip first.
Yes, they did.
They won 2 years ago and we just forgot about it.
Who's
Like,
y'all?
no, we,
I
we
celebrated
can't.
them. I
I
love
mean,
Stewie.
the rest of the
Is that
city. That's
WNBA?
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
They used to play in Madison Square Garden. A lot of people forget that.
Really?
Yes,
yes,
yes.
they do.
Yes, they used to play in Madison Square Garden.
They did used to play there. It just stopped working out, but it's a hard way to explain that. I'll tell you that another day.
And sure, Jim Dolan sold the team because
Well,
he has
yeah,
no.
him. A lot of people hate him for how he handled like the whole watch party situation and around MSG after Trump was.
We have a right to be angry at that. That was dumb. Why
It was
bring that
dumb.
man over?
It was dumb.
There was no reason. I understand you want to catch favors and stuff, whatever. And quote unquote friend, because I don't believe none of y'all people when y'all say that's your friend. There was no reason for you to bring that person here. Like you
I
knew.
mean, the only thing I will say, and this is just a statement of fact. It's not a me leaning MAGA or anything like that, because I can feel people already saying Donald Trump is from New York. That's the only thing I can say about that.
I understand that. Also,
Yeah.
I understood that. Trust me. I wasn't mad at he come. I understood why he was coming over here. I took like one direction of like,
Yeah.
I understand you are from New York and you probably want to come back to like where you got your original start from. But the difference between like that New York now and this New York is that like you don't have people
New
that
York
like
don't
you.
fuck with you. Yeah, this
Like
New York don't fuck with you.
yeah. There's
He
generally people
hasn't
who don't like you here. Like
really
don't.
been associated with New York in a long time. Like if
Yeah, he
anything,
lives in
he's
Florida.
more. Yeah, exactly. He's more of a Florida guy now.
That was my argument when he was coming over here. I'm like, I'm like, if you're gonna go see a game, no one's mad at you from watching the game. No one can stop you from watching the game. Go do it in the place that likes you. Like Texas and likes you. Do it in
Yeah,
Texas. There's
that's what
space
I'm
for
saying.
Tex. There's space for you down there. Like people don't have stuff to do. Like go do it in Texas. You coming here, like making these things happen, just messed up everybody. Like
I will
you got to
say
get extra security, so now streets have to get shut down. Do it in Texas.
I will
Costs us
say
taxpayer money too.
it was interesting seeing the game in Texas. I didn't watch the first two games. So seeing the last game was like the first time I saw them playing in San Antonio. They were cheering for the Knicks there too.
There
And
were
there
a
was
that's
a
lot of
because
lot of
fans.
Knicks
Yes.
fans
that's
in
because they bought.
Texas.
That's because 50 to 55% of the tickets were bought by people in New York and New Jersey. I know three friends that actually bought tickets to flew out to see him. I
So
saw them that.
here's the thing, Jeremy, and you'll learn this as a Knick fan, as a newly christened
Well,
Knick fan.
good.
Okay, Knick fans travel in packs. Okay, if you had no seriously, if you had watched the first 3 rounds, you would see there were Knick fans in Atlanta. There, because there's a lot of Knick fans, a lot of New Yorkers. We move down south when things get too crazy up here.
Yeah,
We move to
true.
Georgia. We move to Florida. We move down south.
Georgia.
There were Knick fans in Atlanta. There are Knick fans in Philly. Philly's right down the street, so it ain't
Right.
nothing to hop on a train or a bus or even drive, right? Hell, we went to WrestleMania, right? So
Yeah.
hour and a half away is nothing to go down there. So we took over Philly, and then we took over Cleveland too when they were playing the Cavaliers. So them being down in Texas is nothing. You know what I mean? It did
Yeah.
not surprise me at all. In fact, and Tay, you can attest to this. Some of the other teams were trying to like block New York Knicks fans from.
I saw that. I didn't know
Mhm.
how legit that was, but
No,
I
it
did
was
It was
see.
real.
real. It was
Oh,
real.
okay.
Like actually, people had to actually write. There was a bunch of people that wrote letters, or the type that actually wrote hand letters to the commissioner of the NBA to be like, "Yo, they're stopping me from buying the ticket here. Like, why?" Like,
Oh, real
and
talk.
then and everyone's like, "You know why? Why?"
And then Joel Embiid, before the series against the Knicks started, he was telling Philadelphians like, "Yo, don't let the Knicks come here. Don't let Knicks fans come here and drown y'all out." You know,
He was trying to get them. He was trying to be like, "Oh, like don't sell your tickets. If you need money to pay for stuff, let me know." Just like, but we can't have the Knicks fans take over our arena, and it didn't
exactly.
stop them.
It didn't stop them at all. It was
Yeah.
it was a beautiful thing, man. Are y'all going to the parade? Well, Tay, I know you're
I
going.
was gonna ask. I feel
Ironic,
like I'm
whatever
too.
Knicks is worse. I have to go to Manhattan anyway that day because I'm going to a housing conference because my job involves housing and housing subsidies. So it's the annual New York State subsidy housing conference where I'm going to learn more about housing stuff. Which, if you ever ask me for anything, I'll let you know.
My
But
man.
since I'm going to be, it's in Times Square. The conference is normally in a hotel in Times Square, so I will
Uh-huh.
already be in 42nd Street
That's
from like
crazy.
9 a.m. to about 12 to 2. So I'm gonna hop right to the other side and be like, well, it was nice being with y'all. My people are calling me. And Juneteenth, and we don't got work on. I don't work on Juneteenth on that Friday. So
Oh yeah, that's
don't
Oh
be coming.
yeah.
If you see that I went missing, don't worry about me. Good.
Yeah, no, I'm too new to partake in the festivities.
oh,
Nah,
you're
you're
not.
fine.
Oh, you're not.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
also, I know a lot of people at my job who are going to go to the parade, and I'm probably gonna have to come in early to cover for them.
I was
So
gonna say, like, you have a different thing to worry about. You got to worry about
yeah,
if people
yeah,
are gonna
yeah.
show up to work.
It's exactly. Even my supervisor was just like, I'm already expecting a bunch of call outs. And I
Mm.
told him, I was like, I'm
Yeah,
there if you need
like
me.
my supervisor will be fully aware that I will be leaving them very early. I
Mm.
know they know me. I'm one of 5 fans in that. I'm one of 5 fans in that company that's a diehard sports person, and they know where I'm gonna be. Don't gotta worry about me.
I want to go. I really do, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. If I do go, I'll have to catch like the aftermath of everything, like because y'all know
Yeah,
where I'm at. Y'all know what I'm doing. I don't think they're gonna let
yeah,
us go to. But if I was still in New York,
yeah.
oh,
Oh, I know you be right
it's
next to
It's
me.
real. Yeah, it's just really
You'll be
bad
calling.
timing.
You will be calling me, be like, "Where you at?"
where you at? Listen. We on Broadway and Fulton Street. Where you at? Pull up now. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I
So one thing
yeah.
I did want to touch on that we didn't really talk about is the refs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, welcome to
That was
this.
one thing that I
Welcome
did
to the streets,
notice.
baby. Welcome to the
What
hatred.
what the hell was going on?
Bro. So okay, Tay, can I just
Oh yeah, take
you
it.
know,
Take it from me. You got it.
so
I will be in this corner.
remember earlier I was saying that I felt like the 2016 finals were kind of rigged because Adam Silver and them didn't want the series to just be over that quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the same thing here because
Yeah.
the NBA the NBA definitely has their golden boys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Back then in 2016, it was LeBron James. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a way, in a small way, it kind of still is LeBron James because LeBron is,
To a lesser extent, yeah.
huh?
To a
To
lesser
an
extent,
extent.
To an extent,
because
yes,
yeah,
because he's still good. You know, if he
he's
was
still
whack,
good, but he's like he's on
he's
the
in the
latter half
twilight.
of his career.
Yeah, he's in the twilight of his career. So for now, going forward, it's Wemby. Okay, it's Wembyama. I'm sorry, but the league wants their golden boys want to win and to be on TV as much as possible because it helps with the ratings. When it helps with the ratings, it you know more
Money.
money. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I have a question. Why is it Wemby? Like, what about him is pushing the league to promote
He,
him?
he's just tall and talented.
Well, obviously that is
That's
that
it.
literally it?
That's
And
it.
he's not just that, not just that. He's tall, he's talented, but he's also international. He's
Yeah,
European.
he's French.
He's French.
Yeah,
They
so
trying
people.
to they trying to grab the whole global market, bro.
Well, they
They
are
kind of
trying to get
got it already,
international.
huh?
Yeah, I was like, they are trying to be international. You are correct.
They listen, listen. Some of the top 10 players in the league, like 6 or 7 of them are from other countries. You got Wemby, you got Luca, you got Joker, you got SGA. Even though he's technically Canadian, but he's still an
That's
international
still
player.
international, yeah.
You got Giannis. You got um um what's his name?
Take your
Who else?
time.
Huh?
Take your time. There's no rushing.
It's Wemby, Joker, Luca, Wemby. I said Wemby
You
already.
said Wemby, yeah.
Giannis. There's a couple others that I'm missing. Like
Yep. Just
I
as
forget.
really good players.
No, like the top, like the top 5-6 players in the league. Oh, SGA. I said SGA.
Yeah, you said
Like
all of them.
You
I was
said
like, who-
you said them
You
right.
said shit.
but there's a couple others that I'm missing.
No,
But either way,
Luca, Jokic, Shea, Wemby,
Giannis.
Giannis. Yeah, that's 5.
So
And then the fifth, then the American players are Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum. That's it. Those are
exactly.
no,
Exactly. So, and even to a lesser extent, because he's also kind of in the twilight of his career, Steph Curry, you know.
Yeah.
So they trying to grab that international market, bro. And Wemby, since he's young too, so he's gonna be around for a while. You know what I mean? Provided he stays healthy, he's gonna be around for a while. So,
It just it
but
rubbed me the wrong way how obvious it felt like they were just letting things slide because it was from Wemby. Like they were letting
that's
foul slide, the flagrants. Like I and granted, this is me just like a newcomer, and even I noticed this.
exactly. Exactly. Last night he committed a flagrant foul on Jalen Brunson, and they
again.
didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he tripped. Yeah, he's and if they slow moed
This
it and
it
they
was the
see
same
him.
one that what was
And
it? Josh Hart
no,
or
Jalen, the
No,
same
not
one
that one.
Jalen got called for. He got called for the same thing where he
Yes.
was in
yeah,
the landing
it was
space.
On his
Jalen. Yeah,
foot.
Hmm.
He's supposed to get called for a flagrant foul on that, but
He is.
because if Wemby had gotten called for a flagrant foul, he would have been suspended for Game 6. NBA don't want that. I mean, in reality, nobody wants that because then it's like, oh,
it's not a real
y'all
win.
right. It's not a real win because Wemby couldn't play. So they're not gonna call that. But he got away with some egregious shit. Like, remember he threw Jalen Brunson
He
onto
threw
the
him,
floor, basically.
yeah, like by the neck. Like
By
yo,
the
I was
neck.
like, yo, what the?
Like
Yeah, we all saw that.
you got a whole foot and a half on this dude. You don't need to do that.
I saw that and I was like, yep. I was like, it's
And
that
that wasn't
time.
even the only foul that was in that shot. That in that, like in like if you look, I think it
He
was
did it a few
Cat.
times.
No, like literally, if you look in like the whole clip, it was Carl Anthony Towns and someone else. I forget his name, but he also got a foul, and none of them were called.
Was it Mitchell Robinson?
No. It was someone from the Spurs.
Oh, they hit somebody?
Yeah, it happened at the same time, but everybody was focused on.
Oh, Calvin Johnson. It was on Cat. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wemby mushed Jalen in the face, the back of the face. But if
Mhm.
you look to the right, number 3, Calvin Johnson for the Spurs, is forearming Cat in the face.
Yep.
Oh
It
wow.
happened at the same time, and none of it was called.
Like you see him like full on like and Cat's like what the
Like that. This is why a lot of people think that the NBA is rigged and or scripted. You know what I mean?
Also, another fun thing is actually if you actually look at that again, the last game, the game 4, Wemby did it again, where Josh shot a 3 and he ran into his landing space. Just Josh didn't fall.
See, there you
So
go.
the same game that Jalen got a flagrant, he did the same action. So
It's
technically, should have been extra reviewing on some other stuff.
Yeah.
it's definitely it's something that we all picked up on, Jeremy. It's you're not bugging. You weren't bugging.
Yeah,
And
we
what's
also are.
crazy is they had a chance they had a chance to assess
Oh yeah,
um
posthumously after the fact. Yeah.
And they still
exactly,
was like, nope.
and they chose not to, even though it was clear and obvious. So for that led a lot of us, especially me, to believe like, oh yeah, they trying to extend this series as much as possible. And like
Yeah.
I said,
Trying. They fully went out. You saw who's the refereeing crew for that game last night?
Tom
Scott Foster.
Yeah, I
It wasn't
remember
Tony
I
Brothers. It
saw
was Scott
people
Foster.
they called him the series extender.
Yup.
Yes, that's what he does. There's certain referees you just know, like, okay, it's like, oh, here we go.
They
Here
sent
we
him in. They sent them in the last time when they played the Thunder to make sure that series went tied.
go.
They sent them in again.
So
I saw that. I was laughing my butt off. I was like, "Here we go."
but for me, it doesn't make sense because you trying so hard for Wemby to win, but everybody knows that the NBA is so much better when the Knicks are in the conversation. Whenever New York is in the conversation, it's a big deal for the sport.
Here's the thing: you're thinking of the wrong way. Like yes, he was their golden boy, but you're right. I know for a fact that he probably wanted the Knicks to win that series, but I know he wanted it to go longer than 5. I know Adam in Adam's dream world that series goes to at least 7 to 6.
I thought they were gonna win in 6. When after they won game 2, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a short series."
We
Honestly,
both said it.
it probably would have if it wasn't for the mistakes that the Spurs made in Game 4.
You're right. And game 2. Like that series honestly should have gone back to New York 1-1 because that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be a 1-1 series going back to New York. They would split the 2 games in New York like they did, and then I thought that the Knicks would pull it out in games 5 and 6 back at the Garden. I thought the Knicks were going to win at the Garden.
Yeah, we both said we both thought Knicks were going to win in 6. That was our episode.
And I'm like, okay. After game 2, I was like, oh, this is going to be a really short series. Okay, well, let's.
Definitely right. It was a short series.
It was shorter than it probably could have been.
What the people, what the league wanted.
It could have been a sweep. It could have been a sweep.
It's funny. I made the joke. You know how Shannon Sharp, he does the whole, he says like 3 things and then Lakers in 5. I made the joke. I said, I don't care if it's LOL. What did I say? I can't forget. I can't remember. Oh yeah, I said I don't care if it's LOL, Taco Bell, or
we did a lot of weird shit.
I said Knicks in 5. I said Knicks in 5.
I think I remember that.
And that was a joke. I didn't think it was actually going to come true.
In fact, we can find it pretty quickly in the chat. Hold on.
No.
That shit was that was actually pretty funny, Jim. I was shocked. Hold on. Knicks in 5.
I don't know. I don't know if I said it in the chat, but I know I said it to my coworkers.
You said it. I remember you saying something about Knicks in 5. We do a lot of weird things. We talk a lot of shit in that chat.
I know. Yeah, we do.
We do say a lot. No, I don't think I can't find it. Anyway, so last week when we talked about this, right? I made the statement that if Jalen Brunson leads the Knicks to a championship, he's the king of New York sports, at least.
You called him the king of New York, and then you were like, he'll be the greatest Knick ever. And that's a read.
Asked the question. I think I asked the question. Would that catapult him to the greatest Knick ever? Now that he's won Finals MVP, and that closeout game, they said that he dropped 45, right?
He did.
Which is it makes him only the second guard, right, in NBA history to score 45 points in a closeout game on the road. And who's the only other person to do that?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. That's GOAT shit, bro. Like, bro, what? You know what I mean? That catapults him into some stratosphere. What stratosphere do y'all think that puts him in?
Oh, I was, like I said, I argue with you that it would depend on what it was, but after watching how he won that series, I would definitely. I don't have a problem calling him the greatest Knick ever right now.
Okay.
It might be a little bit of recency bias for now, but like I have no problem with all my history of knowing them. I would consider him the best to ever do it.
Okay, now Jeremy.
As a new fan, it's hard to determine what catapults him to GOAT status or any upper stratosphere status. I will say his performance, like I said, his performance was consistent. Every time he had the ball, I felt confident that he was gonna make it in. And it never felt like he would make mistakes. I mean, I know he did a few times, but I never felt doubtful of Jalen Brunson. And not only that, but and granted, maybe this doesn't count towards anything, but his demeanor outside the court and his attitude towards anything, like when they won game 4 and everybody was on a high about winning and getting the OG getting the tip in and all that stuff. His focus was not even on the win. He brought up in the post game interview, he brought up that he FaceTime a Make-A-Wish
Yeah.
kid
Uh-huh.
and that he got the news earlier that day that they had passed away.
Uh-huh.
That was on his mind throughout the whole game, and that was what he wanted to make known. And even when they won the last game, he went to Mitch Johnson and not congratulating, but
Yeah,
dapped
he
him up
was.
and stuff like
That
that.
was the first thing he did. He went
Yeah.
over to the other
First
side.
person, and I'm sure he would have went to Wemby if Wemby didn't go crying off into the the locker rooms.
Those
Oh.
bitches. That
but
whole
like,
team. The whole team was bitches because they all left except for
yeah.
Luke Cornell.
Somebody said the only home field advantage was knowing where the exits were.
That's a fact, though.
Oh,
But
shoot.
but yeah, just overall, his character is just like he's a very humble person, and I know, granted, that doesn't really count for anything as it pertains to the game itself. But he's also a freaking good player, so it's just like he's all around a great person, a great player, and I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be in the conversation for greatest of all time. I think it's still a little early because he's so young, but he's definitely in the conversation.
So let me ask you this, right? As far as what you know about New York sports legends, we talk
Mhm.
about Derek Jeter, we
Yeah.
talk about Mariano Rivera, we talk about Eli Manning, you know, New York guys that have made the city proud. Where do you think that this puts him for now?
He's definitely in that upper echelon. Like I said, I think it's still too early, but the fact that he's in that conversation this early should stand for something. I mean, granted, I'm no, my word doesn't really mean anything, but based on what I saw in his performance, I think he's destined for greatness.
You know,
He already is there. Like he won the championship. He brought it to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a
Now,
good one.
here's a question I have for the both of you as we wind this down a little bit, right?
Hmm.
How many? How do you? Where do you think the Knicks go from here? Is this a one and done thing for them, or can this be a sustained success? Can they build upon this and start to really grab the league by the throat and start to maybe build a dynasty? Yeah, I think it's possible.
I think the Knicks right now had the potential to be what LeBron was in the East in the 2010s, where you knew no matter what was going on, to get to the finals, you had to get to LeBron or whatever other team. I think right now is a two-man race to that, depending on what Boston does, because none against it. You still have to respect Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown if they're still together. But also, I'm saying this because Jalen is still on the contract for the next some times. Mikel's contract is still together. So is Josh. So is Katz. OG's contract is still. There's only that whole team can be still together. There's only 3 players right now that don't have a contract. 3 to 4 technically, and that's Shamit, Jordan Clarkson, Mitchell Robinson, and Jose. Jose is a technicality because there's an option on that, and the team or the player. I'm not sure if it's a player or a team option. I think he's coming back to stay.
I was gonna say I don't think he's going anywhere. The
I
fact
think so
he was
either.
like really
I also don't. You know, honestly, I don't. I think Jordan also. I think Jordan Clarkson also comes back because I also think he may also have an option on his. Because I remember he signed a veteran minimum with an option, if my memory serves me correct. So I will look at that contract. The only two people who don't have guaranteed contract on this team right now is Mitchell and Shamit, and I don't see Shamit leaving. And I'm gonna tell Mitchell how Mitchell is the same way as I saw Hartenstein. I think the
fine.
Knicks will give him a good contract offer, but if another team comes in and was like, "Yo, we'll pay you $100 million for 3 years," I'm not going to be mad at him for taking that contract.
yeah.
Well, remember the only
That's
reason why they didn't bring back Hartenstein is because they didn't want to go into the second apron.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Utility.
that's the difference, though. Like they had Hartenstein was going to come back. Hartenstein and the Knicks actually were working on a contract that would have kept them under the second apron, and brought him back to the Knicks. It wasn't until the Thunder when he got free agency. The Thunder was like, "Yo, we'll give you 5 years for $90 million." And I'm
Mhm.
like, everyone looked at that like, "Well, how can we say no to that?" Like,
If you say no to, yeah, that's a lot of money to leave on the table.
it's
I was
hard
like,
to turn it down.
you gotta understand, like, this is not the difference. Is like that was Isaiah's like first ever real contract thing,
Huh?
where that was the first time he ever saw that type of money, and that was the first 2 years of him being good. Like everyone knew he was a good center because of what he was doing on the Knicks. So like when you first get the free agency and the Thunder's like, "Yo, we'll give you 90 million right now." The Knicks can't offer 90 million like that without going into extra taxes. So they were going to have to let it go. They're like, "Damn."
Agreed.
So I
Producer Jay,
think
what you
this
think?
team
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think this team, if they're able to keep everybody together, this team is looking like a Detroit Pistons, LeBron James type team, where no matter what you do, you know you're going to have to see the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, and and then it's 50-50, depending on who you are.
Yeah. I mean I'm kind of in the same boat that like based on their performance in the finals that like if they if they can keep this consistent, like I mentioned before, Jalen Brunson is consistent, but I feel like a lot of the other players were also consistent. Josh Hart, Carl Anthony Towns, like they played their part well, and aside from the whole rest stuff, they were able to be a concise team together. And if they can keep that going forward, then they may be something that that other teams have to
Look out for.
look out for and account for. And
That's what
granted,
boy.
this could have been. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, like the Spurs, they cost themselves the game," but we're forgetting like the other teams that the Knicks went through. Like
Storm through.
that counts for something. And I think that if they can remain concise and uh use this as kind of like a launching point for the Knicks quote unquote dynasty, then they can parlay this into something bigger than what it
You
is.
gotta, you also got to think, like, right now, based on how this goes, like, right now, everyone's like, all right, so next year, Knicks and Thunders. Because last year, before this, everyone thought it was going to be Knicks and Thunder before Indiana showed up. And this year, it's supposed to be Knicks and Thunders before the Spurs. So, and remember, the Thunder weren't healthy.
No, they
I mean,
weren't.
the fact that the Knicks are even in the conversation should speak for itself.
So I
'Cause
think
I
this,
mean,
yeah, is a full on. This could be a dynasty depending on what it is. And also, just as another thing, this team is so random. Because because I can see them doing this shit again, running it back, and then taking off the regular season like they did this year, doing nothing, and then as soon as the postseason starts, all right, run the offense like we did.
Mm-hmm.
Because this team is one of the teams where it's like it doesn't. The Heat coach said like 2 years ago, he was like, with that team, you got to put them away every possession. There's no slowdown on that team, and you've all seen it. Either they're going to blow you out by 51, or they're going to come back from 30. There's no
in between.
that team doesn't die.
It doesn't die. That's true.
they have that fighting spirit in them.
Even when they're up by 50, they're still mad that they still losing buckets. You
Yeah,
saw
but
how angry I watched that whole series. The funniest thing, if you go back and look at the bench between the Blah of Atlanta and the Blah of Philadelphia and the Blah of Cleveland, none of the bench never looked happy.
no.
Like Philadelphia is cheering, making jokes. RB Nick is looking at the court. I'm like, here we go.
There we go.
Like anytime
I
there was a messed up play, you knew they had to do extra laps in practice. Like, come on, you can't miss layups. Now we have extra laps.
facts. That's how you know. That's how you know. I think the Knicks can make a run. I think they can make a 2 out of 4 or maybe a 3 out of 6 championship run because they have the core, right? They have the group of guys that are playing together, playing with the spirit of friendship type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anime.
It does feel like this team is very like close. Like
Yeah,
I've
very
seen them together in like interviews outside of all the stuff. Like it felt, I don't want to say like cliche and so it felt like a family.
right.
Especially like Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. I felt like
Yo,
Josh Hart was like
I
he
love them.
gives little
I love
brother
them.
energy.
annoying
I
little
love them.
brother energy.
Annoying little brother energy.
I love them all together. Their podcast, their show. Look at their podcast. It's funnier.
They have a podcast?
Yeah,
Yes, they
they
have a thing called it's the roommate show. It's
Oh
him,
boy.
it's Josh and Jalen and another friend that they have, and they done episodes with their wives, all their Knicks teammates. They did a whole Thanksgiving episode with the both of them, Mikkel and Kat, and they all four of them were acting up.
It's it's I think they have a nice group of guys that can, if they stay healthy and they stay
That's also the
committed.
factor, yeah.
You got to stay healthy. If they stay
No more
healthy and they
I
stay
do
committed,
wonder how
No more
beat up
hamstring injuries.
Jalen Brunson is.
yo, he was limping
He
into the
was limping
locker
at
room.
when he was
Well, it's because
walking
he
towards
rolled
the
his
stage.
ankle.
Yeah,
He rolled his ankle.
and I said that adrenaline must have worn off because,
Probably.
bro.
When you roll your ankle, the only thing you do is tie your shoe extra hard and pray for it later on the day. That's it. So I'm sure he started icing himself eventually.
Yeah.
That adrenaline and that excitement was running on deep.
I'm sure he's thanking the Lord that they actually won that game because if they had to run it back another game,
He'd have played.
He would have
I
There's
mean, he
no-
probably would have, but it probably would have been excruciating.
He would have did the same thing. I also feel the same way for OG's hamstring. That man never
Oh,
took that
yeah.
tape off.
Yo, freaking Wemby tried to take him out. Like literally,
Oh.
it looked like
No.
like a wrestling move. He freaking stomped the shit almost.
He's a borderline dirty player, bro.
That was disgusting.
So-
Like that series lost a lot of respect for that man.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially his reaction, like to losing. And he's
Such
literally
a-
like a giant
A
baby.
sore loser. Yeah, he's a sore loser. You got to realize he's been coming in second place his entire life. That's why he hates Chet Holmgren from the Thunder, because he constantly loses to him. Like
He
back
hates-
in Europe, he was losing to Chet Holmgren in whatever championship games that they were having. He kept
Mhm.
losing to him. That's why he
Well,
hates
Chet-
his guts.
Chet's American, but also
What about
Wemby had so many chances to win because he's still upset about the Olympics as well.
That's
When
what I'm
they lost
saying.
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
what about how he shoulder checked his former teammate? Was it Jeremy?
because he's just Jersey Solheim. Because he's the
Yeah.
Solheim. He was upset. You know,
Talking
his PR team will probably get back to him on that one. Also, to be fair, Jeremy was also wild.
But I don't know the history behind that, but
No. I'm not like he said anything. Like everyone knows that Jeremy talks wild on the court,
trash. Mhm.
which led to
did they have him guarding him like in the last like few minutes?
No, he came on the floor to guard some people, so it wasn't him. He did guard one before a bit, but it wasn't that. But like in general, because like he also said something to Cleveland that got to a little bit of a little issue.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everyone knows that Jeremy talks a little too recklessly.
So
It's like Dylan
bitch.
Brooks. It's Dylan Brooks on the thing. Like you know, it's good to have him on your team because he's talking wild. But when you're going against him, I'm like, oh, you can't be saying that type of stuff, bro. I don't know what you said that made everyone react like that. It's like Kevin Garnett calling your wife something.
Oh no! Come to find out, that's not what he said to him.
What did he say?
He told
Oh,
Carmelo to suck my dick.
he did
Oh
say that.
damn.
He did
Yeah,
say that.
yeah.
But I'm saying
and
in general, like Jeremy is like that, where he talks wild to get people upset.
I
I
mean,
should
maybe
say,
this will throw them off their game. I don't know.
but yeah, it's I don't know. So as we wind this down, right? How can okay, now that basketball season's over, we now shift our attention to baseball,
I'm watching the
right?
women play. I was talking about.
Well,
I'm doing both.
can
Relax.
okay, I'll just get right to it. Can the Yankees harness this energy and make a playoff run, please?
It's doing these goddamn Yankees, bro.
Because
Isn't Aaron Judge like hurt now?
he broke a rib. But either way,
That was a
Yeah, it's just
sacrifice.
a rib.
it's just a rib.
You
Okay,
have to understand, Jeremy. It was a sacrifice that needed to happen.
it probably was a sacrifice that needed to happen. But can the Yankees carry this over and make a playoff run too? Because right now, as of this recording, they're in first place. I mean, they're in first place without Judge, without Stanton, but we know that we only care about what happens in October. Can the
Yeah.
Yankees harness this energy and pull off a back to back?
The answer is yes. The Yankees can. The answer is
They
it possible?
could.
Yes. It's a full possibility. Now, is it can again, but
Will
baseball
they?
isn't like basketball.
It's not.
It is not.
It doesn't
Not.
basketball with full energy runs on full momentum. You know what, Sam? If you know what sport, you know what teams would run the best off this momentum? Probably the Giants and probably the Giants. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because
Maybe.
American football runs is the second sport that runs on full momentum from everything. Like if everything's going good and your crowd and the city feels good, the city gets behind that team performs better and they're hitting harder. Baseball, the momentum will help them like clear minds. The pitching's gonna be better.
The thing
I ain't
is
gonna hold you.
also the Mets that people tend to get behind just because they're in a similar situation to the Knicks. They're the underdogs of the league.
Listen, the Mets are in last place. They're not going anywhere. Right?
I'm just saying.
Put the Mets down. It's okay.
If the Mets make the playoffs,
I
or
always
like
said that
yeah,
regardless of who makes it, what was it last year, right? That the Yankees and the Mets were both in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were
no,
both in the
I was like,
championship
whoever
2
gets
years
to
ago.
the championships, I'm rooting for them. And then they didn't make it either.
The Mets
But-
didn't make it, but the Yankees did, and they lost to the Dodgers.
Well, yeah.
they shouldn't have. It's another story. I don't even want to.
That's neither here nor there.
Oh,
But as far as New York teams go, they could.
I
It
think
just
they could.
depends on the how much can they ride off of this high.
How much can they keep it? Because
Yeah.
we're in June. We need to get to October. How much can they keep it to go against the Dodgers? Because we all know that's the team they're gonna have to face.
yeah, true.
And
I really,
none against the Yankees starting pitching has been phenomenal this year with everyone returning, and Cam being the best ace so far, having a 1.8 ERA.
mhm.
The pitching will always be there. Now, can they hold it? Can the hitting and everything maintain until October? Is your question. Then into November.
I
A
have
lot of
faith.
questions up in the air.
I have faith. I want Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton to come back healthy because they're gonna have to carry the team in the playoffs. If it ain't those two, I don't know who's gonna carry the team with the
Let's go
bats.
Jazz.
But Jazz can play. Jazz is just boneheaded. That's his problem.
Let's go Jazz and Ben.
Jazz and
Uncle Ben, let's go.
I fucks with Ben, but he's also young. I'm not gonna put that too much on him just yet. It's got to be Judge and Stanton. It's got to be those two.
You said that they can come back. I'm just saying in general. Let's go Jazz and Ben.
So, well, Ben Rice hit a home run today that gave the team the lead in the ninth. So
I told you. Let Ben go.
He's putting up his numbers, but I don't expect him to carry us in the playoffs. I want it to be. It's got to be Judge and Stanton. It's got to be. Got to be. Make the big bucks. They're the big guys. They have to do it. Aaron Judge is the captain. He's been catapulted as the king in New York. He's got to take his crown back. He's got to.
I
He's
don't think
got
he
to.
takes it this year.
I don't. I'm
Let's
hoping
see.
you're wrong, but we'll see.
Because if he
Remember,
wins, he wins.
Judge is a
I mean, yeah, we'll
homegrown,
see.
and he's a future Hall of Famer. We'll see what happens.
I mean, so is Jalen Brunson now.
Absolutely.
Oh well,
Top
Jalen
75
Probably gonna
greatest.
get a freaking statue.
Top greatest. Top one of the top 75 players of all time.
we'll see.
Low 75. Low 75.
You seem conflicted, Jay.
Because now he wants to think about every player that's on the top 75 list, and he's like, is he better than him?
Who do you got to? Who are you gonna move? Who are you taking out?
I gotta look at that list again.
Yeah, we gotta look at the list.
I don't
Who you
know
taking out?
anybody on that list. I'm just basing off of what I saw.
Was James Harden on that list?
Yes.
Well, by James Harden.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
was gonna
Like,
say
by James
I
Harden.
saw I saw a recent video of James
Wait, what?
Harden just being stupid.
He got arrested.
Hey, he got arrested for something. No. There's a lot. I'm sure
Not
there's
even
a lot
not
of
even
players.
that. Like it was just like
Yeah,
the
he
stuff
is
that
top
he did on the
25. Move
court.
him off. Move him off. He's a top 75. Move him off.
There you
I
go.
agree with that. Take him off.
There you go. Top 75 player right now, just because he won the championship. He's the third player under 6'4" to win a championship with a Finals MVP.
Yeah.
The only
Mm.
two players that have ever done it is Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Two
they're both.
75 players.
And Steph Curry is definitely going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and one's already in there. So
Tom, right, correct. Thomas is already in there. All right, let's wrap this up because I got to grind my gears. I got a good one for y'all. I got a
All right.
good one.
All right.
Take
Y'all
it
ready
away.
for this?
Go
Let
ahead.
me
Take it on.
let me talk to this motherfucker, Stephen Jackson. All right, this wannabe OYN needs to shut his fucking mouth. All right, did y'all see that video he made in his truck wearing a shiesty, talking about New Yorkers, talking about, oh, if it would have been us, y'all would have got fucked up, nigga. You would have got jumped. Shut up. Okay, there's no way, because he was talking wow shit. First of all, Stephen Jackson, you check in with teenagers, all right? Shut up, all right? Checking in at old block. You 55 years old checking in with teenagers. Nobody's scared of you, bro. You swear he's hard. He's the oldest YN I've ever seen in my life. He swear he's like 23. I used to
He's
like
42 years old.
I don't care. He's the oldest YN that I've ever seen in my life. And it doesn't make any sense. Why
We're
are
talking
you
about the
trying?
running back?
Huh?
We're talking about the running back?
No, Stephen Jackson.
I don't think I know Steven Jackson. I only know the running back. I'm like, this is not the same one I'm thinking of.
From the
I'm sorry.
Spurs, bro. He was a Spur. Him and
Oh, Steph. Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm damn, he's even older. He's 48.
The oldest YN that I've ever seen in my life. He made a video in his truck talking about, oh, New Yorkers don't know how to win. You could tell y'all miserable people. Nigga, shut up. All right. Shut up. Nobody's scared of you, bro. Talking about, oh, if that was back then, y'all would have got fucked up. No. You're not gonna listen. You and your Spurs team are not gonna take on a whole bunch of New Yorkers. First of all, Tim Duncan is running for his life. French boy, what's his name? Tony Parker's running for his life too. Greg Popovich ain't even gonna be in the mix. Maybe Oscar Robinson would have got it in.
David.
But nobody's scared of y'all, bro. Nobody was scared
David
of y'all.
Robinson.
Thank you, David Robinson.
He's talking like that. You wanna know why he's talking like that? It's because he was part of that Malice in the Palace thing. But that's not the team that's going into that though.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like nobody's scared of you, Steven Jackson. Nobody. So shut up. All right. Go check in with your teenage gangsters and get off of social media acting all hard, wearing shiesties. We each of us are 20 years younger than you, and we don't even wear shiesties
Yeah.
in the middle of summer. Get out of here. Trying to act all hard. What ain't scared of you? Talking trash because he was mad that people threw eggs at Wemby. So what? All right.
Nah.
I
If,
don't
if
condone that.
anybody deserved to get eggs thrown at them, it's Wemby.
And even then, I don't condone that type of stuff.
I mean,
No one was happy with that.
But
We all
I
knew
get it.
to be fair, we were also the same people though. Like, yo, because I think they also some people jumped the dude in a Spurs jersey and we're like, that's not us.
That's
That's
not
some other
cool. Yeah,
nonsense.
we get it. Don't
Yeah.
put that on all of us, though. All right, don't do that. Don't
That's
say y'all
I'm
some miserable people. Nigga, fuck you. All right. I can't, yo. You are too old to be acting like you still in the hood, bro. You done made millions of dollars playing basketball, and you still got that hood nigga mentality. Shut up. Nobody's scared of you. All
I
right.
will
You were
say
got packed up
I
expeditiously.
Moran
I
shit.
know people who are like that though. That they just can't shake that off. Like that's just who they are.
But that's some people are like that. It's unfortunate. It
Yeah.
takes a while. Like I read, it's dumb, but you gotta get over it. You were 48, bro. You nearly
48
50.
old, acting like a YN. Matt, listen, this is why I appreciate Matt Barnes, because Matt Barnes has overcome all of that. He's still in trenches in his mind, and I don't understand why. Why, bro? Why? For what? Who are you trying to scare? We are not scared of you, bro. Do you not see how crazy New Yorkers have been? We fight the NYPD. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's scared of your little skinny old ass, all right? Trying to be, man, Rock, show up. Take us out, Tay. Come on.
Tay.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This has been the Excuse Me Brother podcast. We get back to normal. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's excuse_me_brother with an A, because I made it so it's not racist.
Yes, it
And then
is.
you want to, so what? And if you want to follow us on TikTok, it's Excuse Me Brother, the whole thing, no space, no anything. We post clips on that. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Producer Jay and Brother Jay read your comments. I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. And if it's something that's funny, he'll bring it to my attention, and that's funny. We don't come back on anything we say. Life goes on. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're in New York, I hope you really take time to take place, because this has been a great June for all of us and what we do in life. Thank you so much. I've been Brother Tay. That's the great one, Brother Jay, and the best producer in the business, Producer Jay. Thank you so much.
New York, go New York, go.
Peace.
Good night, good day, good morning, good evening, no matter where you're listening. We appreciate and we love that you're around with us. Don't ever think you're not loved. Bye.